Hey everybody, this is Dark Artsman and we're back with another video. So we're going to go ahead and work on the tank game some more and actually get a little bit more progress done on it so we can hopefully get to a point where this is actually a game and not just a prototype hobby that I've been pouring time into and not actually getting anything done. So between the videos, I actually have made some minor improvements to how the AIs actually do work and how our horde level actually does spawn. Now, for those who haven't been following along, this horde level is almost entirely designed for testing, but I am actually probably going to keep in the final game. Maybe not exactly how it looks, but the concept would be is that we would improve upon this, make it into an actual horde level, something that you would do survival with, and you would just survive wave after wave after wave and just keep going until inevitably you lose and then you get a high score, and from that high score you just do whatever with it. Doesn't really matter. But with the changes to level, I've actually added more spawn points. We no longer actually manually track the spawn points on the spawn controller. So the spawn controller doesn't even have the array up here. It's no longer exposed because it's no longer used. We still can kind of get access to a few different variables. Some of these I'm actually going to try to lock down where you can't really do anything with them, but you can still see them. For the most part, the script has been changed a bit too. How the actual, so we still do track the spawn points, but we now just collect them from the scene, because really there's not going to be some kind of magical system where you have spawn points and you don't have spawn points. It's just going to be you have spawn points and they're going to be accessed. And if we ever in the future decide that, hey, we might have several different spawn controllers going on in one scene, then what we'll do is we'll just add some kind of ID system to the spawn points and go, all of you guys are spawn group 1, spawn group 2, and so on and so on, and then just once we get the spawn points, we'll just filter them out or whatever. It won't be too hard to deal with. Now, when it comes to actual spawn logic, we no longer just loop through all the spawn points. We actually do attempt to grab a spawn point. We randomize it now. So these will actually spawn randomly all over the scene, which is really, 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 really useful, because it means that we no longer have to kind of control where things are spawning. We don't have to do, for example, what a lot of games do when they go, hey, we have spawn points over here, we're going to spawn a wave, move this way, then we're going to spawn a wave, then move this way, and then tell the player, hey, there's stuff coming towards you. Now you just know that there's going to be enemies all over, and this means we can disperse the spawn points all over this level, which is the plan, is to eventually get these dispersed, coming in all directions and coming towards some center point. I still don't know if we're going to have something you have to defend. It really is just going to come down to the whole point of having this little enclosure is to keep yourself safe, and not really designed to keep anything safe in particular. So you could just drive around the whole level and do stuff. Now I am thinking about doing some kind of power-up mechanic where we drive over a box and you get HP or ammo. Well, not ammo, but a power-up for your gun, so you fire faster, do more damage. Might do a Call of Duty zombie type of buy system where you can buy these turrets. So these turrets will probably die, and then you'll have to come over and buy them again and to resupply them, upgrade them. Little tower defense thing going on here. Maybe rebuy your walls, build some barricades. I'm going to have to program the drones to actually understand that you can go through this spot and actually shoot and destroy it, which is going to take a bit of effort. And for this video, what we're actually going to do and get working is to get these guys so that way when they spawn, because if we actually go and turn this on and get the game running, it's going to maximize actually, which we need to get out of. Hold on, let's do it this way. Come over this way, turn that off, because what I was doing in the previous recording I was doing is actually maximizing this and showing off the game in detail, because we were looking for graphic bugs. That video is not going to get uploaded because it was absolutely stupid with me just kind of trying to guess things. But what you'll have is you have enemy spawn, and you'll have some enemy spawn over here, and they won't target the player because there's not really they're not far enough. Now what I could do is I could simply say, okay, the drones have unlimited targeting range. That's a really, really simple solution to this, and probably would be the most preferred way when it actually came to doing development stuff. But the way I want to go ahead and do this is I want to have these guys, as soon as they spawn, start pathing. Not even looking for a target, start pathing. And the reason for that is I actually do want the drones to kind of behave. I want to start doing behavior trees to them and start doing stuff, and in order to actually get to that point, I actually need to make them where they're not targeting cross map and stuff, and doing everything else. By the way, for those who wonder what the little white lines and stuff are, this is actually my ray tracing debug to actually check to see if they can shoot the player. They should actually be shooting the player, which I'm not entirely sure why they're not shooting the player. Let me grab my tank object here and move these guys around. Move you around. There, yeah, they're shooting a tank. It's just they got so close that their ray traces were failing. They should actually be able to ray trace through each other, but you can see where that white line's actually hitting it. It's going, hey, I'm actually hitting my ally. They're actually not supposed to do that. I'll have to work on that again here later. That's actually something really simple to probably to fix. I just need to check the layer mask. Because clearly what's happening is the collision layer system is going, hey, we're colliding with something. Because you can see with colliding on bullets, and one of the videos I did actually upload actually just showed this, and I kind of saw it before, and I was like, yeah, it's probably not working, but for all intents and purposes, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Especially since I need to get local avoidance in here so they're not running into each other. I don't want them to bunch up so that way when you get HE shells later on in the game, you're not getting a whole bunch of free, really easy kills simply because, well, collision stuff. But let's go ahead and get the guy's pathfinding. This is actually going to be remarkably easy to do. And why did my camera... I think my camera just broke on me. You're supposed to follow. You're supposed to follow the tank, and it can't find the tank in the scene. I love this. What's really, really dumb about this is that this camera actually should reset to overlook this spot. I actually don't know where this is in the scene. Yeah, it's over here. So what actually happened to cause it to do this? Very weird. Because I can't move it. I can move the CM camera, but that doesn't really matter because it's stuck on this. For some reason, it's turned red and doesn't really... Well, it doesn't really matter. It's there, it's fine. As long as when I hit the play button on the game. Let's actually make sure when I hit the play button it works. I think I'm just running into compounded issues where stuff is deciding it wants to work or not work. There we go. It reset too. This is kind of strange. I want to make sure that there's nothing on here. Ignore timescale. Because I remember there was something in here like you could save the camera position. Yeah, we don't have save during play, so that should have, like, as soon as we exited out, that should have reset. I guess it didn't. It doesn't matter though. So what we want to do is we need to make a new script and actually get this on our AIs. We're only spawning the test mob right now, so we're only going to mess with the test mob. But effectively what this is going to do is set path to target right here. If we don't have a target, we want to set path to objective. So we need some way to set an objective. And we need some way... Yeah, we pretty much just need someone to set the objective, and we need someone to store the objective. So we're going to have to... I kind of want to just edit... Yeah, that's what I'll just do. I'm going to go ahead and edit this script. Because really, we don't want to make a whole bunch of scripts or stuff. So we have our A-star path, we have our host, and what we're literally going to do is on update, if we have a host, and we're going to change this little line of code here. We're going to go, if we have a target, then we set our path to the target. We go, hey, my destination is here. Really shouldn't have this, actually. This really should be like a fixed update, but I don't think it matters too much. We're going to do else. If we don't have a target, we're going to set to some kind of objective. And we're going to store this pretty much on the mob. Because the mob is literally just used almost exactly for this. And we'll do some public transform current objective. And this will be just some place to go to. And this could be anything. Like, we could recycle this current objective into like a randomization pause. Say, for example, if we get to within the objective, we want the target just to wander around a little bit looking for the player, then we can make that happen. If we wanted to patrol path, we could, well, I don't think we could really hook into patrol path. If we're going to do patrol path, I think we would make a script dedicated to that. and actually dedicated to patrol pathing. But we'll do transform. I think this will work. I don't see any errors, but then again, it doesn't really compile until you click it. This only really cares about the position, which is kind of weird, but it does work. So we can do current host, and we want to just current objective. We can probably make this more sophisticated by actually making an object for the objective, going like, hey, you need to go here, and then once you get here, you need to run this logic, which would be really useful. Because then we could be like, hey, go to this area, once you're there, then change your objective to like randomly wander or something. And we actually want to go if host dot current objective. We'll make sure we get a null check here because this is not always going to be set. And then we want to, I want to say, we want to do AI then destination equals null. I don't know if this will actually work properly. There may be something like we were not actually allowed to set this null. We have to set to some kind of arbitrary position or data object, or maybe we have to clear the path, because you really should clear the path once we get to this point. Although the seeker, because how this works is that what we're doing is we're setting the path in this, I don't say AI maybe? I know the seeker is what actually finds the path for us, and the AI pather is what actually moves. But one of these actually has a destination on it. I don't know which one it is. Start in modifier. So one of them has it. That's all we need to know. As one of them knows where it's going. Cannot convert null to unity vector 3 because of value type. Okay. Because it is a value type. Can I just cast this to like... Because I know Java does this sometimes too, where it won't let you assign something because of stupid reasons. You know what, to be honest, we'll just get rid of this one so we don't have to deal with it. Because if you set the position to the last known position of the player or the last known position of the objective, and the AI goes there, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, what we could do is set the objective to ourselves, which would be really dumb. It probably would break the Pathfinder. But we could actually do that. This should work. Let's go back to here. And what we'll do is our spawner object, once this actually compiles. I'm not actually thrilled with how long it takes Unity to compile, but I kind of understand that it's going to take a while because what it probably is doing is recompiling everything, where then you get something like IntelliJ or Eclipse that actually selectively recompiles stuff, which is both a cool thing and a bad thing at the same time because it ends up resulting in some of the strangest bugs. So now we want to mess with our spawn controller. We're going to want to edit the script. We're going to probably want to edit with our spawn points too. Edit script. Because what we actually need to do... So, that's our prefab respawning. That's our caller. What to spawn... Object spawn. I think there's probably like a document system in here that you're supposed to do. What we can do, because when this actually does spawn, it actually does get the game object. As to our spawn list. But once we get our game object, we could actually grab the entity host from it. Yeah, we need to check to see if we have a component first. Unity check if game object, we don't want all layer. Hats component, because I need to do this first because we want to make these spawn scripts almost as reusable as possible because I'm going to want to use them for spawning health packs, so that means we're not always going to be using them to spawn we're not always be using the spawn mobs is what I'm basically saying. Although to be honest, if I do a health pack spawner, I probably could just make a script for it. But might as well do it the right way. You never know when you need to recycle scripts, so actually let's click this one because that should run better. If game object get component, really? So that's yeah, we just literally are going to grab the component from it and then we're just gonna null check. So yeah, we can just do it down here and then move over this way. And we don't want the rigid body, we want entity host, I think? No. It's not actually what we want. Let's find our test mob. Entity mob. Edit script. Yep, it is actually called entity mob. It's just the variable is called entity host, so I got a little confused. Entity mob equals this, and we just want to basically go if mob doesn't equal null. So if we have it, then we want to assign some data to it. This is actually really useful because at this point we can now start assigning teams to the object. So if we decide later on we want to actually make something like League of Legends or Dota style map, which is something I really do want to do in the future, not for the sake of actually making a MOBA style game, but I think having game types like that are fun. And plus, why not? You might as well have some fun doing stuff. So we're going to use some data to assign to this. So we're going to do public. Yeah, we'll keep it simple, and then we'll just do transform current objective or spawned. We'll do destination to set. That'll be the easiest way to do this. And we're going to want to do a team variable later, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We'll do that in a separate video. But then we can go mob dot current objective equals, and then yeah, just destination to set. Something tells me that in order to have this be assignable, you know what? I think I'm going to change this to I want to assign it as a vector 2, but I think we need a vector 3 through destination to set. We're going to still assign it down here, but I'm going to go into our mob here. This is where I'm kind of confused because, well, not confused, uncertain would be a better word to use. What we would want to do is we kind of want to put a transform here because you may want your current objective to be another entity and you just want to follow that entity around. You may want it to be a moving objective, something like protect the bomb or something like that. Well, that's basically an entity as well. I don't want to set it to a game object. I really do want to set this to just a position, but I'm not sure what it... because I think a transform has more going for it. You know, well, yeah, we'll just assign it as a transform. We'll keep it simple. The thought just occurred to me that, because like what I was thinking is, if we make it a transform, then we're going to have to assign it to an object, but that's not too big of a deal. It is going to limit our possibilities. It means we can't just set a random position and have the entity wander off to that random position. It does mean we're going to need to have a transform to assign to. But we'll think about it, because we could, in theory, just make transforms, I think. Let's let this compile. I want to see what the data looks like. Let's go find our spawner controller. Wait for the script to compile. Game object to check does not exist. Spawn points 50. Oh. Copy and paste fail. That's where I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay. Go back to here. Okay, it computes. We didn't actually put anything in our spawn handler. It's actually in our spawner now. So transform. So yes, this does mean we actually are going to have to pick something in the level to assign it to. Means we can't create something random. It has to be in the level. Yeah, that'll be fine, because if we want the entity to randomly roam, then we'll make another script to randomly roam. For this one, we just literally want to... I'm going to create an empty game object, so create empty. Put it here. And we're just going to call this Map center. Of course, we want to actually put map center into our world, our little thing here. Leave it at the top, and we'll just assign it. But we want the spawn controller to assign this, so we're actually going to want to go edit our spawn controller, or spawn handler. This stuff works, by as far as I can tell. That's good. This in theory works. We can close that. And then what we want to do. I guess we could just do point. We could reassign it repeatedly. Let me actually open one of my spawn point back so I can make sure I get the variable just right. Edit script. I use copy and paste way more than I really should, but it is really just that easy to do. And we'll just grab this up here and put it at the top. Make sure the variable is named the same. It just makes life easier. And then once this compiles, we should have a transform up here. We'll just set it to the map center. And this should be all we really need to get these to path to the center. That's really all we need. By the way, one thing I forgot to note when it comes to pathing, I actually did fix my pathfinders. One of the issues we were having is that when we switched between levels, there was a cache file loading, and it was breaking all the pathfinding. You had to reset the pathfinding. It turns out the game is already, or the package we use is already set up so that when the game loads, it will reset the map for you. And I just had to turn that on and disable caching, and it works perfectly. It does mean that there's going to be like anywhere from like half a second to like 3 or 4 second delay on level loads. But honestly, that's not really that big of a deal. You just get a nice little loading bar, put it up there. So when you're loading the level and it just runs, we go, hey, generating paths. And yeah, I think people will understand. And then when we get caching working, we won't have to worry about it. Let's just go ahead and hit play and just watch how they run through the scene. So what we're looking for is like this guy right here. He looks like he's functioning, kind of. This one's also kind of derping out too. Can I just click you? Yeah, cool, I can just click you. No, I can't, you're the HP bar. Why are you actually just clicking the HP bar? There we go, test mob, I got it. Current objective is not assigned. So you spawn without an objective. So that means something's not right. So we've got point, destination is set. So destination is set, should have been set up here. Let's double check our spawn controller. Yep, cool, exists, works, okay. So in theory that should have been set. Then spawn point, destination is set. So what I'm thinking is maybe this isn't working. Hit component entity mob. Obviously current objective equals destination set. So what we're going to want to do is do like debug. I guess debug.line. Just print it out. Still haven't got that. Okay, so debug doesn't actually work. It's debug.log is actually what it is. A little sleep deprived, so I'm forgetting all the stuff. That should compile. I gotta figure out a way to actually ditch all these search nodes. I did actually spend some time Googling this morning. I found that there should be an option somewhere. They literally, like, what it describes in their forum, but this post was like from 2014, so it's been 4 years, is that there should have been something up here, just like the Cinematic Machine tab, called A-star, and you would click A-star, and then click Disable Debug. But I have been unable to find this option, because it's not up here, it's not in any of the windows as far as I can tell. It's like you can't really find, because you can go to debug and you can find debug stuff. You can get down in here. You can open up a navigation window. Like, cause you get in here, but this is for the 3D stuff. Which, by the way, the 3D stuff is kind of really cool to play with, but I don't know what XLR is. It's like none of this stuff actually matters. Maybe package manager? Ah, that's right, because this isn't probably installed as a proper package. I think this has literally just been dragged and dropped in here. Maybe I should install this as a proper package. Might fix things. It installs ads by default for you. I could put ads in this game and then make it free. That would be like the stupidest thing ever, but it would be funny. Okay. Where were we? Yes, we were testing things. So, theoretically, well, this should work. We just need to debug it. So clear on play. Unfortunately, we're gonna get spammed. So it does actually tell us that it did find entity mob. Fortunately, we're also getting like tons and tons and tons of debug spam from the Pathfinders. We currently have 11 mobs spawned, so we did find the script, so we know it's running. So the next thing we want to test is to see what destination of spawn looks like. This will compile and then it should run. But yeah, you can see right here, scanning complete took about 500, so basically half a second. So we know that the Pathfinder grid actually runs, which makes me really happy knowing that that actually does function. It is null. So we got 6 that said null. And we get 5 that said... What? You know what I actually need to do? Because I think what's happening is there's something a little funky with how this is sitting. It's only... Well, that shouldn't work either because... if point do spawn something, so I need to actually... What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to... on awake, and we actually grab our spawn points. Then we're going to do like 4 each, I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's 4 each. Spawn point, point. It's not colon. It's not equal. I had forgotten what you actually put between this, so let's do this real quick. 4 each, C#. Always good to read the documentation. Yeah, end. That's what I was thinking of. I've been using 4 different programming languages recently, so that forgetting this is really easy for me to do. I'm never going to forget it in Java just because how often I actually use it in Java, but because I'm programming in Lua, and then I think Lisp is the other one I've been using. I keep forgetting what it is because it's some weirdly named programming language, but it's derived off of Lisp, and it has its own way to do loops. Although it's not anything like this, it's actually like this is how you do loops in Lisp. It's like 4 each. Then you have like your list of data, and then you have like another function. It's like before I get into this, I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm trying to remember how it works. Yeah, because what this will do is we can just on awake set our destination point. We'll just have to remember that this won't reset, so if we ever try to come up here and change this mid-game, it's not going to change. Although we could probably put some logic in there for that, but it's not something we actually want to do. Ignore my alarm. That's actually my alarm to wake up, but the reality is I haven't slept. One does not need to wake up if you don't actually sleep. So this should work. We should now see 11 destination sets, which is weird that we're only got 6, and then we got 5 that did and 6 that didn't. Now we got all 11. Okay. We should be able to go to scene view, and we should watch all of them come in. Pathing. I know these guys down here definitely are way out of range, and these guys were kind of out of range. So that fixes the pathing issue, where they don't really know where they're going. You know, I'm going to turn the gizmo on for the grid pathing, just so I can watch how these guys are pathing, because I got it turned off just because it's annoying really annoying. Okay, settings. Show connections. Oh, I probably just stalled it doing that. That's not what I want to do. I want to debug the pathing lines. There used to be a way to do this. Because I can see the surface, which is kind of cool. It's not that cool, though. I really just want to see the collider. It's the only thing I really care about. But I wanted to see, like, do I have to click the mob to actually see its pathing? Like, let's grab you and pull you out this way. No, you're not drawing your debug path. Your body's clearly moving, though. I can see your treads move. It's basically what that black cube is meant to represent, even though this is made out of nothing but, like, Unity sprite texture sheets. This is actually not a pre-made mob. This is something that I just threw together with a random texture so I can get testing going. How did the pathing work? Detailed gizmo. Yes! This is what I wanted to look at. The whole idea about being able to look at this stuff is it's kind of useful in the regard that I can actually see what they're doing. And you can see their paths are like really bizarre. There is a way to do this and actually fix this. Smooth follow, simple smooth? That looks a little better. Yes, that is actually way better. Because now it goes to a curve rather than having this jagged twist and turn. Although the jagged twist and turn actually probably makes them look more robotic. Let's actually reset this whole thing so I can actually watch what they're doing. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to reapply the smooth to it. So let's go grab this guy. This whole reason why this is actually there is so I can come over here and go and add stuff to him. And then hit apply, which will apply to all of the versions of all the levels, which is really cool. It's the reason I love Unity is I can edit everything over all my levels, or I can choose not to. I can actually make an object and make it unique per level, unlike Unreal, which requires a whole bunch of blueprints and stuff. I'm making a joke there. I haven't used Unreal in so many years I actually don't remember what it does anymore. Oh, that is really cool. Look at those really beautiful lines. Now, the only thing I would love to do with this, that I'm going to have to do in another game, because I will not have the time to do in this one, is actually do penalties and stuff, and tell the AI, hey, I want you to be going this way. I want you to actually come in the pre-designed way, rather than cutting this corner here, because I guarantee when it goes to cut this corner, it's going to hit the corner. Yep, hit the corner. So we don't really want that going there, although the way you actually fix this... path rate, max speed. There actually is a way to set this. Slow down distance. Oh, is it not in here? It must be in the grid. One thing I don't really like about this. You actually have to set your diameter of your pathing grids. So if we do that, we set that. Well, we're going to want to save the scene because we don't know how much it'll work. That should actually path better now. There we go, it's actually updated. Yeah, let's draw the gizmo again because I want to be able to see if it's going to like null out the corners. And it's going to lag out while it draws the gizmo. No, it's still got that on there. So let's cancel that. And I want the grid to have a... Oh, because it didn't save the diameter because we were working on it. Why? At least I think so. Did it maybe not save just because I didn't hit enter? Actually might be more of a problem. Unity has this weird thing in the text boxes. If you don't click out of them or click enter when you do stuff, it won't save it. Which is understandable. It's a similar thing that you'll run into if you are using any programming language. For example, Java GUIs are the same way. If you don't actually program them with specific behavior to grab input data in real time, usually you don't get the data filled until you do something with it. You have to do something like when a player clicks out of the field, or if you click enter, or you click a button, then you grab your data. You really don't want to be grabbing every frame. It's weird. Okay, scene view. Why did the gizmo turn off again? It's not completely nulling that corner out. It is saying that that corner shouldn't be used. But the line is different. It's slightly different. It's not as close cut. I wonder if we can, like, manipulate how this works. Simple smooth. Do you come with any options? Ooh. Okay, you're my little test guinea pig here. No, you come back here. I don't want you going away so quickly. Strength. Strength doesn't seem to really change anything. Uniform length. That actually does kind of work. I really want them to kind of stay away from the walls, which is kind of working. They're staying away from the walls a lot better now. It's those kind of simple changes that you can make. I still need to get some local avoidance going. What is with that pathfinding right there? I really should have just been a straight line. Iterations, let's try increasing iteration length, and let's drag you all the way out here. And you just snap back. Okay, go this way. Iteration length seems to change how long the lines are. Kind of? No, not really. Okay, we're probably just going to leave these on default because it works, but it's something that I don't want to spend hours toying with. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys here, and we'll be back with more content updates.